the simplest expression. Smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. An upturn of the mouth. A brightening of the eyes. So easy. Making this the house with the best snacks. Kidless for the night. Like you're 20 again. A smile lights it up. Understands it all. Apologizes. Makes everything okay. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people
How's your day going?
is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Getting the right nutrition is essential to achieving and maintaining good health. Yet accessing balanced meals that also support health challenges and fulfill personal tastes is not always as easy as it should be. At Mom's Meals, our passion is to provide nourishment and deliver wholesome meals to the homes of those who need better nutrition to support their health and wellness, no matter where they live. It's the reason we've built our business from our own personal roots, caring for our clients as we do our own family and loved ones. Our menus are designed by professional chefs and registered dietitians to taste great and support the nutritional needs of common health conditions. Clients get to choose every meal, every order. Meals are delivered to any address, no matter how remote. Simply place your order, receive your delivery, heat, and enjoy. To learn more or view the wide variety of refrigerated meals available, visit momsmeals.com.
Hello and welcome to the Iowa Stops Hunger video series. My name is Michael Moraine. I'm the editor of DSM Magazine. And on behalf of Business Publications Corporation, thank you for tuning in. About 5 years ago, the company launched this initiative to spread the word about food insecurity here in Iowa, and to spread the word especially about resources and organizations that are working to pitch in and help feed people here in Iowa. And we also hope that this inspires you and others to pitch in whatever ways you can to help the cause. This new video series is presented by Hy-Vee with support from Mom's Meals and the Principal Foundation. And we are so grateful for the opportunity to shine a spotlight on some of the people who are doing the good work to really tackle a big challenge here in Iowa. So let me introduce Corey Lewis and Katie Hassler from Broadlawns. Tell us a little bit what you do as health coaches. What does that work entail?
Oh man, there's a few different hats we wear here at Broadlawns Medical Center. One of those, as the health coaches, we work with the individuals that we serve here on behavior change around their specific chronic disease, whether that be diabetes, hypertension, COPD, things of that nature, in partnership with their provider. So we are part of a care team. So if a provider has a patient they feel like needs a little bit more assistance with understanding their diabetes management and things like that nature, they can see a health coach, and we work them through that.
What does a typical day look like?
Every day is different. You just never know. I mean, we see patients one-on-one. I also do phone calls with patients and help out the whole clinic, doing education on blood pressures, teach class on walking. Walk with Ease is one that we do here at Broadlawns. I go to different clinics too. So I am at the Drake Clinic on Tuesdays. I go to the East University Clinic on Thursdays. So as you can see, there's not a typical day as a health coach. It's exciting. It's new every day.
How long do you work with individual patients? Is it a few weeks or months or years?
It really depends on their needs. So there are those individuals that I serve that they'll come in for one visit, and we kind of break things down, and I won't see them again. And there are individuals that I still see, I've been seeing for years, and I still see now because they want that consistency, or they saw me for 3 months, didn't see me for a year, and then like, hey, I think I need I need to revisit, some of the conversations we had. So it really depends on them. And since we are a value service to our community and to the hospital here at Broadlawns, and there's no like copay. They don't got to worry about insurance. They can see us however many times they want.
I imagine over the course of time, you get to know them pretty well. Katie, can you just describe some of the most common challenges that your patients face?
There's quite a few challenges, really. I would say one is finances, and that can stem from, maybe they're homeless or maybe they've lost their job. I mean, everyone has their challenges, but I think through coming to us, they have realized that there is something they can do to help themselves. So they're wanting to, take that step with challenges or not, they're going to better themselves.
And what are some of the specific challenges they face in terms of accessing nutritious food and maintaining a healthy diet? What are some of those problems that you encounter often?
The biggest challenges I see with the individuals that I serve, transportation and, that access to healthy foods. You'd be surprised to hear that when you say transportation, like we live in Des Moines, but healthy food isn't as easily accessible as you may think. So the closest, I just saw a patient last week. The closest place they had to get food was the Dollar Tree. And yeah, there may be some things there, but not the same as going to Hy-Vee or going to, a larger grocery store. So the things they have available to them is limited, which makes our job a little bit more challenging, but it's still something that we have to work through.
I've heard patients too talk about going to food banks, but they don't always have healthy options at the food banks, which, it's kind of, it's sad to hear, but at least there is something provided for them.
Do you find that you are sometimes up against long-term behaviors? In the article for our publication, you mentioned that some people, when they were growing up, they were always coached to clean their plate.
Yes.
And that's such an ingrained mindset, which, is important. But are there behaviors that some of your patients have grown up with that are hard to steer in a different direction?
The behavior around food is the most challenging. You either have those that grow up with their parents make them this huge plate and they cannot get up until it's gone, or they didn't grow up with a lot of food available, so any food they eat, they're not wasting. And so that's, some of these patients we're seeing are 50, 60, 70 years old. That's decades of this same behavior that we're not going to change in a month, or a week or a month. So that is challenging in kind of rewiring the brain to say, hey, I'm full. Yes, there's still food on my plate and I don't need it. That is kind of a hard thing to work with. It just takes time.
And I think there's also the cultural aspect to it too. A lot of patients grew up eating rice, excessive amounts of rice, and they might be diabetic. So, how do you help them make those changes to their lifestyle that are culturally based too?
Can you share any success stories or patients who stand out in your memory?
I've been here for a pretty long while, so I do have a few success stories. One, this was from 2022. I had a patient in my office. She was pre-diabetic. Seen her for a while, and then there was one day she came to my office and she wasn't herself. Um, and as a health coach, there's a thin line between health coaching and therapy. I don't cross that line. That is not my scope of practice. But like you said earlier, we see these patients so long, we build a really strong rapport. So I felt comfortable asking her, "Hey, are you okay? Like, what is wrong?" Not as a health coach, not as trying to be therapist Corey, just as a human being concerned about another human being. And she let me know. She said, "Well, my husband just lost his job, and I don't know how I'm going to put food on the table and or pay rent." And that's when it becomes less about, you know, fruits and vegetables, because she didn't care at that point. She doesn't care about what she's eating. She just cares about, how am I going to feed my family and pay my bills? And we were able to find her through some of the resources that we have locally, rent assistance. And finding that rental assistance allowed her to focus on her health. And she's been great ever since. I haven't seen her for a while personally, but every time I see her, she gives me a big hug. We have a great conversation. So that's just one I'll never forget. And it was it really, really, uh, brightened my day that day.
I'm sure it brightened hers
Yeah.
too, just to see somebody who had the time and focus and concentration just to listen. I think that is
Oh,
so
yes.
helpful sometimes. Speaking of direct support, can either of you explain a little bit the produce prescription program? How did that
Yeah,
work?
so the produce prescription program we've been doing for, gosh, in our clinic, we've been doing it for 3 years. Very successful. I still have people to this day, even though we're not doing it, they are still asking, when is it going to start? When can we start getting our coupons? So, produce prescription program, um, in our clinics, they had to qualify based on their A1C numbers. And to be part of the program, you qualify, you have to do a pre program survey, and then you meet with your provider for the first session, and then you meet with one of the health coaches or pharmacist or somebody monthly. And with the program, they got $30 per month per person in household. So for a lot of these larger families, it was a significant amount of money. And they were so excited and they were just, so thankful for this extra money that they were given. So very successful program.
When I was getting ready this morning, I put a handful of kale in my shake because I knew I was going to be talking to you, and I was like, "Oh, I'll try my best. I'll try my best." Is there when you're talking about the program, is there anything you would like people to know that I'm not asking, or just to spread the word about the programs and the resources there at Broadlands?
I think there's a lot of programs, and check the website. Um, Talk to your friends. If you have a provider here, ask them about what they would recommend. But yeah, there's a lot going on in Broadlawns. It's a great place.
That is true. I want to thank you both for just carving out some time this morning. And for our viewers, I encourage you to pick up a copy of this issue of Iowa Stops Hunger. You can see Corey and Katie and learn more about their work in this annual publication. So all of these stories and more are available online at iowastopshunger.org. And I encourage you, if you have story ideas or if you want to learn more, please keep those lines of communication open. We are always looking for others that we can spotlight to encourage people to find access to food and pitch into the cause. So Corey and Katie, thank you both very much. Keep up the good work, and I'm sure we will cross paths soon.
Yes, thank you for having us.
This week's Hunger Insight is presented by Mom's Meals.
Across Iowa, 1 in 6 children, or about 120,000 kids, faces food insecurity. For many, school breakfast and lunch programs provide their most reliable meals, and when school's out, hunger spikes. This isn't just about calories, it's also about growth and emotional health. Hungry kids are more likely to struggle in school and face lifelong health challenges. No child should be too hungry to learn. Together, we can support programs that feed Iowa's kids year-round.